Yeah, to my left, I've got Hans Louis June, and on my right, I've got Chase Harris. First off, I give credit where it's due. They stepped up and they really made shots. They came into this game with incredible rhythm. Um, they went to Marshall and beat them the last regular season game, which is very hard to do. They came down here, won their first one, which is very hard to do against Old Dominion, and then they beat a really good Arkansas State team last night, and then they came out and got us today. So credit to them. They're dangerous right now. It's kind of been the thing with this tournament so far is a lot of teams that have played already have found a way to keep winning. And so I give them a lot of credit. Charlie's done a great job. They're really playing their best basketball here late. For us, they made 23 threes. We played them at our place. They were 12 of 45. You guys that don't know much about our program schematically, it's what we do. We'll break the NCAA record for forcing teams to shoot the most attempts. We give up 40-plus attempts a night from three. And it works really good for us. Tonight it did not. They stepped up and made some tough ones. We gave them some, too, with some undisciplined actions that we had. But again, it's our identity defensively. Statistically, we've been one of the best defenses in the country this year, and tonight they made us pay. I always talk about how we play defensively. It's kind of like going to Vegas. The house wins, and tonight the house got wore out. They made them. They really did. They stepped up with a ton of courage. Whether it was Applewhite, it wasn't just one guy. I mean, Applewhite, Moore. The kid 7, he really shot it. White, they just made plays. So I got to give credit where it's due. The other thing I'll say before I take any questions is this season for me, I've loved coaching these guys. We won 21 games in the regular season, and so the way that I evaluate a season, I think in this climate of college basketball, there's always two things, all right? You look at what went into putting this roster together, especially financially in this climate. Some of these guys came here. They didn't come here for the money. We ain't got it. I mean, we don't. Anybody that follows our program, I know Craig's sitting here. He follows our program closely. He knows that. We don't have it. And these guys came here for very little. And the reason they came here is because they believed in what we're doing. They loved South Alabama when they came to see it. They loved the idea of playing with the teammates that they have. And I have a great appreciation of that because the climate of college basketball is hard. It's really hard right now, especially when you're on that spectrum like we are. It's hard. So I'm thankful for guys like Hondo and Chase and our whole locker room down there that they came here and laid it all on the line for us. I mean, I'm sitting here to the right of Chase as the player of the year in this league, and it wasn't close. He was the best player in this league, not debatable. He could have probably went and got more, because we didn't have a ton, again, to give these guys. But he trusted us, and he came here. And, he's going to be phenomenal. If he had another year, he'd make ridiculous amount of money. But he's going to make a ridiculous amount of money being a professional. Really good. And Hondo came here. Didn't have to. Had some other options. He came here. He believed in us, and it's been tremendous for us. The second part of that, what I look at, is adversity that you face in a season, usually injuries. We started out, Sam Shoptaw blew his knee out in the summer. He's a freshman for us. He would have been really good. He was ready to impact this team in a lot of positive ways. And then what everybody knows is we lost Peyton Law, who's one of the best players in this league, 9 games in. And when we lost Peyton Law, I feel like the writing was on the wall that this thing could really go downhill. And these guys just wouldn't allow it. They carried us all season long. They wouldn't fold. They wouldn't allow us to not be successful. because all those things are a recipe for you to have one of these down years where you have a losing record and it's very disappointing. But they wouldn't allow it, so I credit my guys. I love them, and even though the goal is every year it's a one bid league. There's 14 teams. It's incredibly hard. 13 teams are going to leave here disappointed. One team's going to be celebrated, whoever that is. But the thing I'm not going to leave here is disappointed because I got to coach these dudes. And this was a year where things could have went really bad, but I was blessed to coach some guys that wouldn't allow it. They found a way.
We'll open up now for questions. Start off, Craig.
Hey, Craig Stevens, NATO.com. Richie, they scored 32 points in the last 6.5 minutes. I mean, just the team got hot, or was there you guys get tired? Or?
We aided a little bit in that with the turnovers we had. We gave them some turnover points, and then they got hot. In order for our defense to be effective, and we all know this. I mean, our team anyway knows this. The activity level's got to be really good. And we've got to deflect, and we've got to be disruptive. And I think when we got up 10 there with 10:53 left, our defense kind of left us. And we didn't have the urgency that we had to get that lead. And once we did that, again, credit them. They stepped up and they made shots. I mean, they made deep ones. They made contested ones. They made shot clock ones. And we came up empty on a few possessions, and that just added fuel to the fire. I mean, they really made us pay. When we made a mistake, when we didn't play with the force we needed to, they made us pay every time, especially down that stretch. But it was pretty consistent all game. I mean, except the second half, we built that lead the first 10 minutes, and then our defensive energy dipped a little bit. And against them, as hot as they were tonight, and with the rhythm that they're playing with, you can't do that because they're going to make you pay.
Jump over to Paul.
Coach, hey, Paul Chestnut, Fox Sports Pensacola Radio. How do you stop something like that, the way that they ended the last 5 minutes, or do you just got to answer back, doing what they're doing?
We got to play with more force and more discipline. We bit on some shot fakes that hurt us. We got lost in some rotation that hurt us. We didn't deflect enough. And then we came up empty. You got to answer back. But we are who we are, and that's why we're successful. Defensively, we are who we are. There's some outlier. Now, I've not had one of these, I don't think, where somebody hit 23 threes. Now, there's some outlier nights where guys really shoot it at a high level. But for every one of those, the other 6 are like, for the year, we gave up 40 plus 3 attempts a game. Teams made 12 at 31%. And we lead the country in the least amount of paint points given up, and we lead the country in the least amount of fouls. So that means free throws too. So schematically, what we do, it works for us. And so we're not going to all of a sudden jump into man-to-man denying everywhere because that doesn't work for us. So we got to be who we are, what got us to this point, right? We were one game away from winning a regular season championship if we finished the job at home on Friday. Won 21 games, back-to-back years doing this. So obviously I believe in it wholeheartedly. And it's been proven to be really successful. Again, tonight, they made us pay. We aided in some of that, like I said. Some of it was on us, but some of it was they stepped up and had a ton of courage to shoot some difficult shots in and continue to do it. I mean, Applewhite, he was 8 and 9 from 3. He came into the game, I think he had made 43 on the year at 34% or 33%. I mean, he shot it like Steph Curry tonight. And again, that's part of having courage. He stepped up. They're in a heck of a rhythm. And, they're going to be dangerous down the stretch. If they can have enough legs, they're going to be dangerous down the stretch. I mean, they're playing at a really high level.
Let's go back to Craig on the right.
First, for Richie, Olsen only played 25 minutes. Was that just a matchup thing or something else going on?
We really kind of, AO's been huge for us. And he was good tonight for some of that game, but as you're going through the game, you want to give yourself the best chance to win. And tonight, defensively, we had to stop the bleeding. And, when you look at plus minus, he was minus 16 in 24 minutes, I think, but he's a really good player. I mean, he really is. Tonight, a couple times, he got caught in some tough situations defensively. So you try to, when we kind of built that lead, we had that lineup with Hondo and Broom on the wings, and we kind of rode that lineup. We went offense, defense late, tried to get him a couple shots to help us score. But yeah, that was pretty much why it was like that. It doesn't change how much I believe in him. Moving forward, it's just certain games require certain things, and we wanted to give ourselves a chance to get some stops because we thought too if we got stops, we got out in transition. We had some success that way. We just couldn't string any of them together.
And for the players, could you just reflect on the season, what you guys accomplished, especially a couple guys who moved up from a lower level to Division I and played really well?
It was an amazing season with my brothers and my coaches, and I'm just blessed to be in this position because a lot of people would want to be in this position, and it's hard to take in right now. It's just sad, man.
It was a great season. Coming from lower level, I feel that we did the unexpected. Having a 20-win season, and it's all about trusting coach. That's what made us the best that we are. And it's just unfortunate that we couldn't come in and win tonight.
Coach, hey, moving forward, what's more challenging for you? Is it the season, tournament, or is it the off season now, the way college basketball is, or the way college athletic is, with the transfer portal and NIL?
That's a great question. In terms of the wear and tear on your body as a coach, it's the season. I mean, when you get to this point of the season, you're exhausted, and it's everywhere. I mean, if you take a before and after pic of what all of us look like as a head coach, it's a lot different as a head coach than as an assistant. I didn't look like this when I was an assistant at the end of it. And that's nothing against assistants because they work their tail off too. But when you move over to that other chair, it hits you different. I've done this for a while, and it's taking a toll on me. So the season, that part, but roster construction for us is the hardest. I mean, we're literally out here operating in a league where the majority of the teams in our league have one guy on their team making more than our whole roster. And when you think about that in terms of like college basketball and you're competing in a league with 14 teams, it makes it really hard. And we've done a really good job as a staff, my staff, I wouldn't trade them for anything, of identifying guys and building a relationship the old school way and providing them with the opportunity to be successful and get better. Again, Chase Harris sitting over here was, when I watched him, I was blown away. I knew he could be player of the year. I told him that. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
I knew he could be player of the year in this league. I thought he was that good. And he obviously performed, and that came to fruition. But the days of us continuing to do, we got to continue to do it. I mean, we may have to replace 10 guys. Because the other thing is when you give a guy that plays well, like last year we had a couple guys go get paid at other places. This year will be no different. You know, the guys that played well, I understand that. And I'm accepting of it. Like, I'm one of these realists. I feel like I look at things through a real lens that, I mean, I don't get mad at my guys for doing that. That's part of it. That's what we've created. Not we've created. It's what our profession has created. And so when we go back at this thing here, you know, based on what postseason, if there is postseason for us, we're hopeful that there is. But when we go back and start doing this again, the ante is up to even more. I mean, the amount of money that some of these things, I mean, versus what we have, it's tough, and that's real life. I mean, I always tell everybody, like, money is real, you know. So when you go call a kid and he knows he should come here, like, because it's the success of these guys here, you know, we've really had a market at NAI, D2, Canadian College Basketball League. We've only signed one Division I transfer in the last 2 years. It was Randy Brady, and that was it. And we're 42 and, you know, 22 or whatever in the last 2 years so far. But when they know they're supposed to go here, but somebody offers them triple or quadruple the money that I can, I mean, there's no, they're going to do that, you know, and it makes it tough. It makes it tough. But our program is built on, because you can't sit around whining about it. I remember when it first came out, you know, they started doing this, and I probably complained, and I don't do it anymore. It is what it is. You got what you got. I mean, when I was growing up, I grew up with humble beginnings. We didn't have hardly anything, and I can remember as a child, my parents told me this when they got older, when I got older, that I'd come home sometimes and I'd ask them, "Are you rich? Are we rich or are we poor?" Because I didn't know, and they'd always say, "We're," you know, my mother would, you know, she's passed away now, but my mother would say, you know, "We're rich in love." And for our program, we're rich in heart, we're rich in culture, we're rich in improvement, and we're rich in love. Like, that's what you get when you come here. You get better, and you know you're playing for a guy that genuinely loves you, you know. And in this climate of college basketball, it's not the case everywhere. So with what we lack financially, we try our best to make up for it in the experience these guys get and how much better they get, and we try our best to help them get to their dreams and goals while being able to compete for a championship every year as well.
Go ahead, Paul.
Coach, I got one more question. Can you comment the South Alabama women's team, the one that they're on right now?
Yeah, what a job Coach Jackson has done in this tournament. But I see it every day. You know, they work really hard. Like, they work really hard, and their staff, they've had some, you know, when you're trying to build a program back up, which she's been trying to do, and she's doing a wonderful job of that. But you have some rough moments. I watched them in the last few years have some rough moments. She never wavers, though. Like, she coaches every day out there to get them better, where it's easy to, like, kind of get frustrated and give up. Now, she, you know, I don't go in there and watch her practices, but I see them in there and I can hear them. And, you know, she's done an unbelievable job. And those girls, really good group of young ladies that have came down here and fought through adversity. We talk about adversity, what happened to them and that whole situation, and they found a way to win anyway. And then they found a way to come back out here and win again. 4 games in 4 days is wild. And the thing I'll tell you, confidence is a powerful thing, and they got a ton of confidence right now. Like, they're dangerous. I wouldn't want to be playing them. I don't care what seed you are. Because the way that they're playing and the job that she's doing right now with them, they're dangerous playing the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1, whatever's left on the women's side over there. And we're just rooting for them as a program. Our guys are really close with them. And you know, we're rooting for them because they deserve it. They've worked their tail off to get this thing moving in a positive direction. So this momentum for them is huge, and hopefully they can go out and beat JMU tomorrow.